time now for lunch break, and we are cooking for Father's Day. We have a father-daughter team with us today with the oldest steakhouse in Chicago. Tony Georgetti is here, the owner of Gene Georgetti restaurant, with his daughter Michelle. Thanks so much for coming in. And we're making one of your signature dishes. What is it?
It's called chicken a la Joe. And there's a little story behind the dish that I'd love to explain if you don't mind while I get started.
Excellent, yes.
Okay, so chicken a la Joe basically started, we have a waiter that's been with us for, Dad, about 40 years, right?
Yep.
His name is Joe Pacini. He's about this big. He's from Italy. He's been with us, as I said, close to 40 years, a really long time. And he had a regular customer that would come in all the time, and they ordered chicken constantly. And he was getting a little bored with, I guess, what was featured on the menu. He wanted something with a little extra kick in it.
Okay.
So Joe went back in the kitchen and had a discussion with the head chef at the time.
And they created
this dish. But I do remember hearing the story of the chef saying to Joe, if the customer didn't like the dish, he was blaming it all on Joe.
Perfect.
So
okay.
nowadays, when a customer...
So it starts just with pieces of chicken
it
here.
Does. So now basically what we do is we take one half chicken raw, cut into quarters, and you put it in the pan, skin side down. Just like this. Okay. So
with nothing else in the pan?
Nothing, not yet, no. You can just start just like this. Put it in, skin side down, just like that. And then what you do is you take your quarter stick of butter, which as soon as I can get this.
You love this, having your daughter cook for you for Father's Day
yeah.
here a few days early?
I told him earlier today. I told him earlier today not to get used to it because it's definitely not going to be a habit.
So you're going to ask the chef at the restaurant.
Exactly.
Prepare my dad a fabulous
meal. So you take your quarter stick of butter. You put that in here like this, right? And then you take basically a pinch, which is approximately a quarter of a teaspoon. So you take a pinch of salt, a pinch of pepper, a pinch of oregano, and a pinch of red pepper flakes. If you don't like really, really spicy, you could remove the red pepper flakes if you wanted.
This then, if you like it to have some flavor,
a little bit
put
of
them
kick
in there.
for sure. Because there are other there's pepperoncini, which I'll get to in a second. So there's definitely kick to the dish.
Excellent.
So just like this, you would take it in the oven at about 475 degrees for about 35 minutes.
All right.
Okay, so that would go in the oven.
And then
when at about the 25-minute mark, you want to pull it out of the oven and flip it. This one has already been flipped, so you see, you go to the other side, and you'll see it's starting to brown and it's starting to get ready.
Right,
okay?
and you see all those great spices on there.
Exactly. So now this would go back in the oven for about another 10 minutes or so. And while that's happening, we can then start working on the peppers. I started one already, just so we can kind of get a feel for what it looks like. But basically what you need are 3 bell peppers, red, yellow, green, orange if you prefer, whatever color you prefer.
Makes it nice and colorful.
Exactly. So you core them, you cut them into strips. It looks like this. Basically, you take your pepper strips, you throw them right in the pan, just like that. As I said, I already have some going. And then you just add a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and another quarter stick of butter. You let that saute for about 10 to 15 minutes. You'll notice the peppers will start to soften, and the pepperoncini will actually, the juice will start to give out of the pepper a little bit, and they'll come down. Yeah, for sure.
And we have the finished product over here. We can take a look at how
Mm-hmm.
beautiful it is. Well, I want to hear you tell me about Gene Georgetti. I mean,